From the moment I saw her, I loved her.
I give you all the keys to this house, the keys to his heart. You will have to find for yourself.
Take me home now.
You have no shame at all.
Do you believe that pleasure can ever be sinful?
This is your home now. Who was the man?
What man? I was lost, that's all.
I want to give her everything. Be careful, my friend.
This is you and me together.
Do you love me?
Do you love me?
Woman's body found. Stabbed in the neck with a small knife.
That is not Julia.
Where is she?
She is gone.
She just took what I had given her.
Your money. And your love.
I want to kill her. You haven't forgotten me, have you? Say it. Say it. You love me. You better make me believe it. Your life depends on it.
You cannot walk away from love.
All right, everybody, welcome back. My name is Gillis the Kid. I'm here once again with my friend Hannah. We just got finished watching the movie Original Sin, starring Angelina Jolie and Antonio Banderas. It came out in 2001. It's sort of like I would say like a thriller, an erotic thriller, to be exact. But just like always, we're gonna go through the characters and tell you about the story and how it ended. We both seen this before, so what was your first thoughts on this movie? Like, what did you think about it? Because it starts off with Angelina Jolie. She's in the cell, and she's talking to a priest. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming that she got caught from everything that she did. And she's basically narrating the story. So one day, Antonio Banderas, who is Luis Vargas, he decides he wants to get married. So instead of him finding a woman from Cuba, he, what was it, a mail bride order or something like that? Yeah.
But they were talking through mail, so I would
mail order bride, I guess.
Assume it's one of those.
But he sends the letter to Delaware, and this woman, Julia Russell, is supposed to come and marry him. And he's getting ready and everything. So he goes down to the docks to meet her because they're supposed to get married that night. And Angelina Jolie shows up, who looks nothing like Julia Russell.
Because the picture was already sent.
Yeah, she sent him the picture and everything. And he's surprised because obviously she's more attractive than this woman. And then she tells him that, what did she say? She sent a picture because she didn't want him to like her for her looks.
Yeah.
And then he told her that instead of him working for the, what was it, like the coffee company or whatever?
Some plantation.
He actually owns it. So,
yeah, half of it.
So,
they both started out with lies.
Yeah, they deceived each other. So, then they get married. They get married that night. They didn't waste any time. And just by looking at the wedding, you can see that he had a lot of money. They had like the roast pork and everything on the table. So after that, they slept in different rooms too, by the way.
Yep.
Until eventually that morning, she brought him tea. And then he asked her, "Didn't you drink coffee?" And then she said, "Oh no, that was my sister." Because he read those letters perfectly.
Yeah, they were exchanging. They were communicating before, so.
So she switched it up and said she liked tea in the morning instead of coffee. Didn't they have sex after that too?
No, I think they had sex only after. Remember,
it
they
was
went
after
to the theater.
Yeah. So now that they're married, I believe that his friend, his business partner, name was Alan. He asked him, "Hey, when are we going to meet Julia?" So, they go out to the opera.
Yeah.
Sort of like a double date, and then she wanders off, and I believe she was talking to either a performer or the guy that she was in cahoots with. They wasn't really too clear on that.
Yeah.
But she was definitely talking to somebody.
And really, really close too. Like that close.
So then he goes to look for her. He's all panicky and like, "Hey, where were you?"
But he saw them talking that close.
Yeah.
So he was starting to act up. That's why I think Angelina Jolie gave in just so that he'd forget. She
Right.
gave in to his.
So
Yeah.
then they go back to his house, and then I think that's when they had sex. One thing I did notice is that she had like scratch marks on her back.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if it was from like a previous abusive relationship or not, but I did
I
notice
would
that.
assume.
He has a maid, the black maid, that walks around and cleans up everything. And then Julia also had it was like a trunk that was locked. And he asked her, what was in there, and she completely, she jumped to a different subject, like she didn't want him to know.
Yeah, and she probably doesn't even know.
Yeah.
She
I
doesn't
don't
even know
think
where the
she knew.
key's probably at too.
Yeah, I don't think she knew either.
Yeah. Oh, before they went to the opera, the theater, they were actually dating, and then Luis started to give her access to his money. That part happened.
Yeah, they were riding horses and stuff, and she was
Went to
telling
the
him,
bank.
She was telling him how bad it was in Delaware, like the relationship between her and her sister. But he took her to the bank, and one thing I noticed, he had a personal and business account. So he put her name on both. So she had access to pretty much whatever she wanted.
No. Well, they're married. I guess she does have the rights.
Right. And then comes a guy, Walter Dowles, which turned out to be the guy she was secretly involved with.
Is this the detective guy?
Yeah. Okay. So when he first met Luis, he told Luis that he was a detective from Delaware, sent by her sister because she didn't write. So that's why Luis went back to Angelina Jolie and told her, "Hey, you haven't written to your sister in weeks. The police is going to be on us. Maybe you should write her and tell her everything, that you're all right." And and she has the letter, and she's like, "Oh, I'll mail it off." And he's like, "Oh no, I got it," because she wasn't gonna. She was probably gonna throw it away.
I would have if I was her.
So he mails the letter, and I believe I believe the scene after that, that's when she started spending.
And that's when she started. I think that's when she killed the bird.
Yeah, for some reason she didn't like the bird, like the noise it was making. And she broke the neck, and then the maid found it. And
She had no emotions.
yeah, you can see Antonio Banderas. He's like, this is kind of fishy, because he heard her say she didn't like the bird, and then maybe like 30 minutes later, the bird's dead. So, I believe she left after that.
Yeah, when the mail was sent, that's
Her
when
sister
she
got the
really
letter.
started acting up. And then the sister just comes from nowhere.
Yeah. Well, she had to do that because she got the letter, and it was someone else's handwriting. And she tells him, she's like, I'm Julia Russell's sister.
And this can't be my sister's.
Right. This can't be her handwriting. It's the handwriting of a stranger, a person unknown. And obviously he didn't believe her at first, but once he put the pieces together, he knew something was out of place. So once he figured out she wasn't who she said she was, that's when he ran to the bank, because he was like, wrong move. Yeah. And he's choking the bank guy, because the bank guy's like, yeah, she was here earlier and she took out some money. And yeah, he was a complete mess after that. He started drinking. He went out to one of the whorehouses, and then Walter Downs, the detective, is like, well, I can track her down for you, but what would you do if I found her? And he says, oh, I want to kill her. So Walter Downs is like, well, yeah, we're gonna investigate some more. And that's when they went to Havana. Him and the detective went to Havana, and that's when Antonio Banderas seen Julia with the other older guy. He was actually he actually had a sugar company.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he was a business guy.
Next target
of a sugar company. So she went for the coffee guy first, and then the sugar guy second.
She must be really, really rich then.
Yeah, so he was all hooked onto her up until Antonio Banderas found her, and that's when she broke down and told him that there's another guy involved. We met when we were younger. She was born in an orphanage, and they ran away together. So that's how they started coming up with these schemes to trick rich men into marrying her, and then they would just steal the money. What he didn't know is they had a second plan to actually kill him, because he was the detective found out that Antonio Banderas was worth more dead than alive. So since she was already married to him, they were planning on killing him so she can inherit everything.
Yeah, but Antonio Banderas, he sold his half of the plantation.
Yeah, but
so now they can kill him totally, because nothing's under his name. The bank's already, all the cash was in his hands in those bags. So if you killed him, you get everything.
Right. And he told the detective, I'll pay so you can track her down. So he went back and told Angelina Jolie, like, hey, all that money we stole from this guy, he already made it back.
He still has some more.
Yeah, he still has more money. So after Antonio Banderas found her, he put the ring back on her finger, and he told her, well, that's in the past now. We're gonna start all over again. He gave her a second chance up until I think she
wanted to go to the pharmacy.
Yeah.
To get
she
the
ducked
rat
out,
poison.
She ducked out on him again to make a plan to kill him. And then he found him at the hotel.
Yes. He followed her because it's awkward for a female to walk around at night just to get rat poison.
Yeah.
And he heard their plans of after he gets the 2 tickets, he comes back. Angelina Jolie poisons him. He dies. Angelina Jolie goes with the detective, takes the tickets, and goes somewhere else. Look for another target. And Antonio Banderas heard all of it.
Right.
Luis heard all of it. He was so
The entire
heartbroken.
plan.
Yeah.
But even before that, the detective took his gun and he replaced it with blanks.
It was Angelina Jolie that replaced it with
Yeah.
blanks.
And I noticed, like, when he went back to get it, it was where it was supposed to be, but it was under the clothes. So I was like, oh, that's something fishy right there. Because supposedly he was supposed to be dead.
Mm-hmm.
And then he drank the.
Yeah.
Drank it. Yeah.
He was like, she would be his first and last. And then he drinks. And then Angelina Jolie just like had a wake up call. This man really loves me.
I don't have to do what I do anymore.
Yeah. This is the guy that loves me. So now she's trying to help Luis away from her detective actor
Her partner in crime.
Yeah.
I would say. Because he was the one, I believe that he was the one who thought of everything.
I think so too.
Yeah. She was sort of like just the woman who seduced everyone.
The material.
And one thing I always wondered is, even without that guy, she was attractive. She could have got any rich man she wanted.
Yeah.
You know,
And
even without
she
those
should have
schemes.
just stayed with one rich man, not like doing one rich man in this country. Why do you need all that money?
Right.
God. Okay.
So I believe she got caught after that.
Yeah, because she was like, they were at the train station, and then the detective caught up to them. And Luis is
She shot
throwing
him,
up.
didn't she?
Yeah, Luis is throwing up all his meds. And then the detective's trying to chase after them. But Luis shoots the detective, but not like on not a fatal shot. So the police comes over and then Angelina Jolie says, "Help him,"
Yeah.
pointing at Luis. And then the police says, "How about him?"
Oh, forget
Asking
him.
about the detective. She comes up to the detective, shoots him. I guess it was his heart, chest, somewhere here. And then he said, Don't mind him, help him.
Yeah, she just takes the gun, boom.
Yeah. And
Throws
shoots
him
the other
away.
guy. That's how she got caught.
Mm-hmm.
That's where
She did it right in front of them, and they're like, "Hey, what the heck?" And well, this part you probably know better than me. What happened with the whole priest thing? Did she switch clothes with him or something?
She was confessing all her sins, and then the priest was crying. I think he was feeling sorry for her. And then next thing you know, the guys that are supposed to hang her comes in the room, and the priest is there. Oh no, wait. Everything's covered up like that. And then the cops take out the robe, and then he sees the priest praying and kneeling and all that.
Yeah.
He wasn't really handcuffed, so it was really...
Well, they were gonna put her in it was like a chair where it had like a steering wheel type thing.
Is that the neck one?
Yeah, it pushes your neck until it breaks. That's basically how they were gonna kill her.
Okay.
Because she asked the priest in the beginning, like, how does a person die on that?
Ugh.
So
Yeah, so the priest switched places for her, so she got out wearing the priest's robe.
I wonder if he got in trouble.
I would think he would get in trouble, but I don't think they would hang him. Maybe they'd strip him off his priesthood, but I don't think he'd be killed.
Maybe, who knows? Maybe Antonio Banderas had that all set up for her to escape like that.
Maybe.
Because he had the money to do it.
Maybe.
So, you never know.
Yeah. And then you find them, where did they go? Morocco.
Morocco, yeah. They were playing poker and...
Yeah, with all the cheat,
yeah.
whatever sign languages they were teaching each other.
You know what? Before that, they were playing poker too.
Yeah, that's when she taught him.
Like
she taught him what the signs were really. But that first try didn't go out well.
No, he got his ass kicked.
Yeah.
And I believe she
also got in trouble.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that was pretty much it.
Yep.
And, we were talking before about, like, if they got together or had kids, because that was his whole thing, like, get married, have kids, and all that.
Yeah, but he doesn't have any plantation anymore.
Right.
So, they're basically nomads now.
They were, like, fugitives now, right? They couldn't go back to Cuba.
I'm sure they wouldn't go back to Cuba.
That was a nice house he had, though.
That was too big of a house.
Yeah. I guess all that stuff got,
sold.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the other fat guy owned the other half.
Mm-hmm.
So
maybe him and his wife took it over.
Yeah, he would have thought of something good to do with it.
What were you saying about her lips?
Oh, this is the... They said this is the movie where Angelina Jolie got her first close-up to her puffy lips.
Well, that is one of the things that Angelina Jolie was known for, was like her lips.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, everybody, if you don't know who Angelina Jolie is, she played in all the Tomb Raider movies as Lara Croft. So she will always be Lara Croft to me. I think she was the best one so far. They never made a third movie.
Is there supposed to be another one?
Well, there's a third movie, but it's a different woman.
Oh, why? What happened? They couldn't pay her anymore?
I think she wanted a lot of money. But she did make 2 Tomb Raider movies.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think Antonio Banderas, he made Once Upon a Time in Mexico with, heck is her name? Salma Hayek. So, he might have made that movie first, because this one was 2001, but around the same time, he was, playing the macho... Oh, he played as Zorro, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. With Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Mm-hmm.
So, that was pretty much it.
Yep.
That's pretty much how it ended. I was just... It's just weird to me. Like, he was rich. He could have gotten any woman he wanted. She was attractive. She could have hooked up with any rich man that she wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, she was all about the money, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
she chose love.
Yeah.
She chose
Which was
him.
good. It's just the way they went at it was kind of crazy. A lot of people got killed.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to be together.
Yeah.
So. But that's Original Sin in a nutshell. This is the Blu-ray. And you can probably pick this movie up anywhere now. The first time I seen it though was on Comcast. I think it was like on demand. That was the very first time I seen it. And I was like, oh, this is a really good movie.
I think I seen it in the theaters.
Oh, you seen it in the movies.
The problem is it had rated, I don't know, it was like adults rate, like rated 18 or something.
Yeah, definitely. Because they got that.
And I was underage still, but I still sneaked in.
Huh. Yeah, because they had that sex scene with like her and Antonio Banderas, like completely naked. Mm-hmm. So that pretty much did it right there, as far as the rating.
Yeah.
And of course the other violence and stuff.
Yeah, and all the cheating, all the shooting, all the...
Yeah. But I'll drop all the names and everything else down into the description below. Let us know what you think about this movie, if you like it or not. And we'll probably have some more coming up pretty soon. I don't know if it's going to be Angelina Jolie, but we'll try and pick somebody else.
Okay.
Because we did pick on Scarlett Johansson enough, so we'll find somebody else to pick on. But that's all I got. I want to thank you once again for doing a movie with me.
Sure,
I want to thank all of you guys. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow and move up in the ranks. And I will catch you guys on the next one.